I am crying about a broken marriage. We just finished it all. I did something that I regret so much now, and I thought that if I was awake enough, maybe I wouldn't find my way out. My parents and his whole family have been critical of me. Do you know why? I think I should start the story from my husband. I am Anna Moni. My husband and I used to be models. We both have good looks. We know each other thanks to a joint shoot. He is very considerate and always takes care of me. Daniel's sincerity touched me. Not long after that, we officially fell in love and got married. I gave up my career and accepted to become a housewife to share housework for my husband. I became a wife right socially. Everyone, from friends to former colleagues, my parents and his family, are very happy about me. When we took his friends home, Daniel was proud to introduce me to his friends. When I was pregnant, he always loved me and looked after me. However, he often stays up late. He always answers midnight calls and says to me, "Wake him up so he can receive calls. Do not listen to help him those calls because this is a secret issue." I always believe in Daniel. His call screen is the name of the partner, so I have no doubt. Until one day, Daniel forgot the phone at home. A strange number called. I didn't intend to hear that call, but it seemed something was urgent because the number kept calling and had no intention of stopping. I had a child at that time. He was only 5 months old. His sleep was very important, so I couldn't help but pick up the phone and remind others to call later. I opened the phone and heard the other end of the line immediately had a female voice. The voice was like a scolding. "Darling, what did I do to pick up the phone for so long? I miss you, Dad. Can we go to the hotel tonight?" My heart sank. I didn't dare to believe that word. I reviewed the phone number, and the name was the partner's name. I tried to remember the time of the previous calls in the middle of the night. Strangely, they were all the same person. It seems that Daniel intentionally changed the name of his phone book to a virtual name by date so that I would not be discovered. My jealousy exploded. I cried a lot. The other end saw me turning off the phone and called again. I couldn't lose my reason because of a word, so I decided to send a message of agreement and said that I was busy meeting so I could not take the phone. After a while, Daniel returned in a panicked look. I quickly deleted the received messages and calls. Calmly hold his phone and smiles. It seems that Daniel thought I hadn't done anything, so I breathed a sigh of relief. He thanked me and gave me an intense kiss. It was as if before that action would make me extremely happy, but now I feel very disgusted. That night, I saw a text from Daniel saying that he had to work overtime. I asked the maid to look after the baby and went to the hotel that she had made an appointment for. At that moment, Daniel's car arrived, next to a beautiful, hot girl. But I never expected that woman to be my old assistant when I was a model. I was very shocked. The day before, I gave her a large amount of money to cover her life. Now she returned my favor by winning my husband. I lost my reason. I couldn't be calm enough to handle everything. I tried to be a perfect wife. Trust your husband and always proud to show your friends about him. I did not want my newly born son without a father, nor do I want to be criticized by friends and family, so I thought it was the stupidest revenge plan in the world. That night I didn't go home. I turned off the phone and didn't accept Daniel's call. Although I have children, I know how to take care of myself. Many men flirt with me, but I've never kept an eye on it. I wandered and stumbled upon Isaac. Isaac is one of the people who persevered in pursuing me until now. Since getting married, we still talk but do not contact much anymore. He cared about me when I was at the weakest and softly followed Isaac home. I confided in him about Daniel. He listened attentively with hot eyes. Isaac came up to hug me and gently wiped away my tears. I also drank quite a lot of beer at the time, which moved me deeply. We faced each other at a very close distance, and Isaac took the initiative to kiss me. He carried me into the room, and whatever happens, everyone will probably guess it. The craziest thing is that I deliberately took the Isaac phone and sent the address with the message, "Your wife is sleeping with me," over to Daniel. I want him to witness and feel the feeling of being betrayed. I didn't love Isaac. I felt sorry for him for dragging him into this. But I had no choice. I had to use Isaac to take revenge on Daniel. Half an hour later, Daniel appeared and rushed into Isaac's house. I deliberately showed him that he was extremely satisfied. He got angry and dragged me out of the room violently, rolled the blanket over my body, and carried me back home quickly. I looked at Isaac with a look of help, but he could not stop Daniel. Isaac was knocked out by Daniel. For the first time in his life, he dared to speak harshly to me. He grabbed my hair and kept hitting me. A fake man. He always wanted to be perfect and be able to hide his mistress for 5 years. I also investigated that she had a child and often went shopping with him. At that moment, my mother-in-law came and saw the situation where he hit me. I seemed to find hope. I thought my mother-in-law would help me. I screamed and asked for her to help. But the surprising thing is that my mother-in-law never cared about me. She just stood there and didn't stop Daniel from hitting me. She just asked Daniel why she hit me. He answered like an innocent person. He said I was a traitor and unfaithful to my husband. My mother, who didn't listen to me, explained everything, and the reason looked at me angrily. I thought my mother-in-law would understand me, but she never asked me why. She only listened to one side. Immediately, I objected to accusing Daniel of everything I did, just wanted to avenge him because he deceived me. He had an affair with a pretty woman. All evidence of his adultery was given by me. I said, "You said I had betrayed you. What about you?" Daniel's expression froze in the blink of an eye. Then he smiled calmly, looking at his mother, and said that his mother knew it. She likes that girl, because I was pregnant late. His family cooperated because he knew the girl was pregnant. I was shocked. I had no idea. All revenge plans had become their joke. They looked at me with pitying eyes and disgusting smiles. My adultery was spread. My parents refused to accept me, and my family did not allow me to return to my home to live with them. My husband's family evicted me, and Daniel and I signed a divorce application. We really ended. I do not have children because there is no property to give it a good life, and my children will live with Daniel. Both you and I are wrong, so when the court hears you have an advantage in money. I lost my son, my betrayed husband, abandoned parents, and alienated friends, because of an act of retaliation without thinking made me more seriously hurt. After that time, Isaac contacted me again. I apologized to him for everything. Fortunately, Isaac did not blame me.